Anthropic AI has been going viral lately for their AI model Claude, which now has Claude Code, and most recently Claude Code Teams, which are essentially a team of agents that can work with each other to do anything. For example, build an app from scratch. But not only that, it doesn't have to be technical. For example, you can also do market research on your competitors and have multiple agents with different functionalities take over different tasks and provide you a very in-depth research. So in this video, I want to show you how you can set up Claude Code Agent Teams so that you can perform in-depth analysis in your competitors when it comes to marketing, pricing, or the product that they offer. And so I'm going to show you step by step how you can set this up inside of your computer, how to talk to it, and how to see your results. But if you've never heard of Claude before, let me give you a really quick introduction. Claude AI is basically an LLM or large language model, basically an AI like ChatGPT, in which you can chat through it. For example, here I'm in the website of Claude inside of my account, and where I can chat to it through here, very similar to ChatGPT or Google Gemini. But Claude Code doesn't work inside of a browser. You have to install it inside of your computer. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So the first thing is you want to make sure you're in a paid plan that's either the Pro or the Max, whichever is going to allow you to use this functionality. And looking at their docs, it's very simple to install. You just need to run a few commands on their on your terminal, and then what that's going to do, it's going to prompt you to put in your credentials and log in. I'm going to be leaving a link to the documentation down in the description, as well as a guide that I put together to make this a little bit more easy for you guys so that you can set it up yourself. And so the first thing that you want to do once you have installed Claude Code is to create a folder in which you're going to be storing all of your projects, or in this case, our market research. So for that, I have a folder that's called Claude Code, and inside of that folder, I have created this other folder that's called Agent Teams Data Demo. Here's where all of our files are going to be stored. So once you've created your folder, you want to go into an IDE. If you don't know what an IDE is, it's basically an integrated development environment in which you can run Claude Code directly, or you can do it directly to your terminal. So Visual Studio Code is the one that I'm going to be using. It's completely free to download. So once you download this, the first thing you want to do is go over here and open the folder you just created. And this is so that everything that's created by the agent, in this case our research, is going to be stored inside of this folder. So now I'm going to start my terminal by going over to View Terminal, and I'm going to paste the following command, which just says Claude and then dangerously skip permissions. Don't worry, this might sound a little bit scary, but this basically allows our agents to take decisions on their own. This can be, for example, accessing specific information inside or in the web, so accessing a specific URL. Then this is going to allow us so that they can independently take that action without having to ask us every single time. Otherwise, every single time the agent or any of the agents wants to do something on their own, it's going to have to ask you and have your approval. You can do it that way too. In that case, you would just put Claude and then it will start running. But if not, you can do dangerously skip permissions, hit enter. And now we're inside of Claude Code. This is regular Claude Code, and we need to tell it to enable the Teams functionality so that we can spin up multiple agents at the same time. And quickly to explain you how this agent Teams work is basically you talk to a team lead, which is where you're prompting it what you're looking for. And then that team leads is in charge of creating different agents. So for example, in this case, since we're doing market research, we're going to have a research expert, an analyst expert, and a strategist expert. And then these individual agents talk to each other and to the team lead, so that the team lead knows if they're doing their job right or if they need some guidance. So just want to put that out there for you guys. And now to get started with the agents, you're going to go here into the docs where it says orchestrate teams of Claude Code. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description, and you're going to copy this link and basically just say, can you please enable agent teams so that we can start working? And I'm just going to paste that link, hit enter. Now I've already installed this in the past, so it might just say it's already installed, but if it's your first time, it's going to go ahead and install it for you. And also, this might look a little scary, but just think of it as if you're chatting with ChatGPT. I mean, this is pretty much the interface. You have a chat window over here, which is just this section, and then the answer that the agent is giving over here with some status on if it's working or not. So as you see, we can see what's going on in the backend or in the mind of the agent. And it says in here, agent teams are experimental feature that needs to be enabled via setting. And so it went ahead and it ran a specific command so that it enables it. Basically changed this setting to Claude Code experimental agent teams to 1. I'm assuming this can be either 0 or 1, 0 being that it's off and 1 being that it's on. But now it says we're good to go to start using the agent team. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm, for example, a roofing company, and I want to see what my competitors are doing, what platforms they're using, what services they're offering, how many reviews they have, and stuff like that. I want to do a whole market research, so I can say something like, hey Claude, I want you to spin up a team of different agents that are going to be researching marketing, pricing, services offered of other roofing companies in Phoenix, Arizona. And the idea is that you give back a full documentation that shows all of this information in depth in an analysis. Each agent should be doing its own research from its own point of view. We are a roofing company that is trying to break into the market. We are trying to work in getting our Google reviews up and getting more testimonials from our clients. So maybe you can also have an agent that's going to be in charge of coming up with a strategy and how we can better get incorporated into the market. So now that whole prompt is over here. I'm going to click return, and I'm going to show you guys how the agents start being created and start working with each other, and then we're going to check the result. As you see, now it says the team has been created. Now it's going to create tasks for each of them, and then it's going to spawn them so that they actually start doing the work. So it's really cool because the team lead is really good at planning and creating tasks before starting the agent. That way each agent already has a goal once they have been spawned and created. And if you see over here, it says shift arrow up to expand. So I'm going to click that, and we're going to be able to see our different agents. Right now we have a team lead, which is the main agent. We have a marketing analyst and a pricing researcher. We just saw that the review strategist was spawned, and I can actually toggle between these ones by clicking on shift and then up or down. And if you see, each of them gets highlighted, and I can click on each of them to see what they're doing. For example, if I want to see what the pricing researcher is doing, I can see all their logs over here. We can see that it's doing some web search on like roofing companies in Phoenix, which is great. We can look at the review strategist is also doing some research how roofing companies can get more Google reviews. Let's check the marketing analyst. Let's check the marketing strategist. In this case, it says Phoenix monsoon season roof damage statistics. So it's even getting some statistics in there. And then I'm just going to go back to the team lead, and we're going to wait. But basically, you're going to see a lot of stuff pop up, a lot of messages, and that's just the progress or what the agent's doing in the back end. So for example, I can say, how long is this going to take? And actually I'm going to switch over to the team lead because I was about to text the market strategy. So team lead, how long will this take? And it's going to check with all the other agents and see what they're doing. For example, here it says all 4 agents are actively working right now. They're doing web searches, reading results, writing up the report, which is what we just noticed. And then it says, let me check if any reports have been written yet. Now it says the agent are still in the research phase doing web research. So we're just going to give it a minute, and then we'll see what the results come up. I can say something like store your results so that it knows where to save all of the analysis. So right here in the Explorer, we're going to see files start getting added to our folder. And I said Markdown because these are basically text files, and we're going to see them in a little bit just so that you have an idea on what is that we're going to get. So perfect. So we can see that some of them are completing their tasks. For example, here it says pricing research complete, marketing analyst complete, and it looks like both of them are idle. And we can see the status of the market strategist still writing. So we're going to give it, now it's idle. We're going to wait for that. And if you notice here on the left side, we see a few Markdown files, and we're going to explore them here in a little bit. But these are the reports that each of these agents generate. Now the agents are being shut down, meaning that the team lead is turning them off because they have completed their task, and it should be done here shortly. Oh, it's even creating a master document for me. It says, let me read all 4 reports and compile the master document. Even nicer because we're going to get everything in the same place. So we're gonna wait for that. So it looks like it's done. Now we're going to check the master prompt. But if you're wondering how long this actually took, it was about 8 minutes total. So compare that against having a team of actual people doing this research for you. That it probably take, if not more hours, if not a few hours, a few days, and it's more manual work. So let's look here at the master report. Actually, I'm going to close this. This is a whole Markdown file, and I'm going to paste this into something like Notion so that we can see it a little bit better. See, the title is Phoenix Roofing Market Complete Analysis and Go-to-Market Strategy. We have a table of contents with an executive summary, market overview, competitive landscape, pricing intelligence, Google reviews and reputation playbook. We even get a playbook in there and some key insights. So let's briefly skim over this and see what we got. So executive summary. This is a master report. This master report synthesizes research from our independent analysis covering pricing, marketing, reputation management, and market entry strategy for Phoenix. Some opportunities at glance. So Arizona roofing industry size, $1.2 billion. Number of roofing business in Arizona. This is very helpful. 2,205. Annual growth rate. New housing units projected by 2028. 5 biggest opportunities identified. Transparent pricing. Short form video dominance. Review velocity over volume. Insurance claim specialization. And technology differentiation. For example, here even says one competitor, Lions Roofing, mentions drone inspection. So you can this even knows what strategies or what technologies other roofers are doing. Bottom line, startup investment, $72,000 to $170,000 first year. Market overview, demand, depending on each season. For example, it even takes into account that we have monsoons during June to September. So that's where the demand is the highest. Now January and March is moderate because there's not much weather activity going on. It has some licensing requirements. And check this out. This is so cool. We get a full table with 15 competitor profiles at glance with their name, when they were established, the ratings, how many reviews they have on Google. This is great. What their position is and their key differentiators. So we saw Lions Roofing already done. Drone inspections. Let's see. We have Reimagined Roofing, 0 to 600 plus reviews in 5 years. That's pretty good. And other companies. Now we see marketing positioning map, some pricing intelligence with different types of roofing materials. This is great. What the repair costs should be. Some recommended pricing strategies. There's a lot of information in here that if you're a roofing company and you're struggling, or not even a roofing company, but also any other type of company, let's say HVAC, any other home service type of business, or in the tech industry, you can use something like Claude Code to quickly research through all of your competitors and even come up with strategies. Obviously here, I only gave it some context on who I was, on who we were. I just said I was a roofing company in Phoenix. But imagine if you give all of your information about your company, where you're currently, what are your pain points, where you're looking to grow the most, then Claude Code can have more context on that and do a more in-depth research and more specific to your use case. So there you go. That's how you can now have your own team of agents do research on market. Obviously, there's a lot of other use cases for these type of technologies. The most popular right now is just creating apps and building software, but it can also be used for other teams like marketing or sales for analysis. So I'm going to be leaving a link down below where you can find a guide on how you can set this up step by step, this by yourself, even if you're not a technical person. So make sure to check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you want to see another use case, make sure to leave a comment down below. And we'll see you guys on the next one.